To join the Brightside Ben team, give the phone team a call at 866-735-2470, and you too can help change lives like I do here on this program, and like we all do in the Longevity family. 866-735-2470 is the phone number for the Brightside Ben phone team. They can tell you all about it, all for a one-time $10 fee. You could start yourself a business and earn thank you checks and just get your products at the wholesale price if that's all you so desire. 866-735-2470 is the number for the Brightside Ben phone team. If you want to purchase any of the Longevity products you hear advertised on the program, go to brightsideben.com and click on the shopping cart and take a look at all the products, including the Beyond Tangy Tangerine and the Jordan Rubin Swear V and Amasai and fermented whey products. The Swear V is especially effective and especially useful if you're trying to do a cleanse. Sometimes people want to fast, but they just can't get over that hump of feeling tired or just not feeling good. By the way, when you do a fast, it's not a bad idea to take a day off from work or do it on the weekend when you could just lay around and just relax your body. But if you find that you got to do stuff and you're fasting and you want a little bit of energy, but you don't want to eat food, or if you're trying to lose weight and you don't want to eat in the middle of the day, if you're trying to prevent yourself from snacking, the Swear V is a wonderful, wonderful source of energy. The potassium and the sodium are readily available to cells themselves. And that's so important when it comes to nutritional supplementation. Just because you take a supplement doesn't mean the cell itself is going to get the value, is going to be affected by the supplement that you're taking. That's really what it's all about when you take a supplement or when you eat a food for that matter. The food or the supplement or the nutrients, they have to go inside a cell. Nutrients don't work outside of cells. They work inside of cells. Once something is outside of the cell, it's done. Remember, the body's like raisin bread. You got raisins and you got bread. The bread isn't where the action is, folks. The bread is the effect of what's happening in the raisin. It's all about the raisin, i.e. the cell. And that means when we're using supplements, we got to make sure that it's the raisin, i.e. the cell, that's getting the benefit of the supplements. And one of the neatest things about the Swear V product, and this is where Jordan Rubin is such a genius, is he formulated it to feed the raisin, to feed the cell, and ultimately then the bread or the extracellular matrix gets the benefit. Anyway, Swear V, Amasai, all the Jordan Rubin products, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the Healthy Star Pack, you can find out all about it at pharmacistben.com or at brightsideben.com. Our number 844-236-6010. We'll get to your calls here momentarily. We're talking grains. If we're eating lots of grains, we love whole grains, we love our cereal, we love our breads, we got to admit something to ourselves. We got to admit that we're sugar junkies. We like the grains because they're sweet. Just put your bread, take your favorite bread, and I like bread too, by the way, or whatever it is, your favorite starchy food, and put it on your tongue and let it sit on your tongue. Don't even chew it. Just let it sit in your mouth or in your tongue or slightly chew it, and you'll notice that sugar starts to get released. Now, when you're eating your bread really fast, you don't notice that, at least on a conscious level, but in a subconscious way, in a body type of way, you're getting a sugar high from bread, from cereal. Well, I think kids can't get enough cereal and milk. When you combine sugar and fat, especially in a system that's deprived of fat and a system that's deprived of protein, I'll tell you what I mean here in a second, you can't get off the sugar, you can't get off the fat. Cereal and milk is a classic sign, or the love of cereal and milk, or the addiction to cereal and milk, especially if you put raisins in there or bananas or sugar, which many people do. The addiction to cereal and milk is nothing more than a sign that the body is looking for protein and fat. All right, let me say that again. If you can't stop eating cereal and milk or bread and butter or potatoes and butter or pasta and any kind of fat, what you're really looking for, your body's really looking for, is protein and good oil or good fat. So what you do is you prophylactically or you preventively hit your hot buttons, hit your satiety buttons for protein and for fat. So if you can't get off the cereal and milk, make sure you're using lots of eggs and coconut oil or eggs and butter. Eggs and butter replace cereal and milk in a healthy sort of way because you're going to get all your protein from your eggs. You're going to get a perfect protein from your eggs. And sugar cravings are a sign that the body's missing protein. And you're getting all of your fat needs met from your butter and coconut oil instead of from the milk. Now, raw milk is a little bit different, but most of us aren't eating raw or aren't drinking raw milk. We're drinking supermarket milk. And this is a crappy food. Supermarket milk is a crapola food. And I don't care how much calcium they tell you is in there and protein. It's crappy because it's homogenized and it's pasteurized and it's processed, and only God knows what they gave the cattle that are making the milk, and all the stuff that they give the cattle, make no mistake about it, ends up in the milk. By the way, has anybody ever heard of check this out, the pus count? Yes, I said pus, P-U-S, pus count. Ask a farmer, a dairy farmer, about the pus count. The pus count is the amount of pus, P-U-S, infectious material that's allowed in your milk. That's all I need to say about that. And that's in homogenized and pasteurized milk, because when your cows don't want to be milked and their udders get infected. This is why they give cows antibiotics in the first place. Anyway, milk's not a good food. So if you want to get off your cereal milk, do eggs or some kind of protein, whey protein perhaps, and oil. And the combination of protein and oil is a great way to, in a healthy fashion, wean yourself off of cereal and milk and grains and milk. This whole grain thing is not in our interest. There's a really cool book called Empires of Food that talks about the association of links the association of political empires, starting with Sumeria, moving on to Egypt, and then Persia, and then Rome, and then the Byzantine Empire, and then the European Empire, the British Empire, and the Chinese Empire, and the American Empire, and the Russian Empire. All of these empires are linked to their ability to grow grains. Throughout history, the ability to grow grains was associated with empires, associated with politics, it's associated with government. Sumeria itself, civilization itself, hierarchical civilization, where you have a king, and then you have princes, and then you have a legislator, and then you have the poor schlubby people like us at the bottom of the pyramid. We're the ones that dig the irrigation ditches in Sumeria. You think people wanted to dig ditches? People don't want to dig ditches. In order to grow grains in Mesopotamia, which is essentially the desert, it's Iraq, they had to dig they had to create irrigation. They had to dig ditches. People don't want to dig ditches, so you have to have an army, and you have to have a police system, and you have to have a government that orders you under penalty of death to dig ditches. This is how empires started. Slaves dug ditches. Our empires today are only slightly more sophisticated. Instead of digging ditches, we work in factories. It's the same idea. It's all linked to grains, the politics of grains. And every time we go to McDonald's and eat our burgers, and which are grains, by the way. Burgers are grains, yes. There's no cows without grains. There's no McDonald's without grains. Can you imagine all the ways we interact with grains and we don't even think about it? There's a really neat paper written by a guy named Jared Diamond. Jared Diamond is I guess he's an archaeologist, you would say. He's written a lot of really cool books, Gun, Germs, and Steel. He wrote a book called Collapse. He writes about how civilizations come and go. And he wrote a paper many years ago about grains, about the link between farming grains and civilization and the ultimate enslavement of people. And so without getting into too much politics, every time we participate in our grain economy, we're making sure the bars on our cages, the bars on our jail cells are more intact and firmer every time we participate in the grain economy. By the way, not that there's not value to grains. There is value to grains, but those grains need to be sprouted. Those grains need to be activated to get their value. Okay, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Got lots more to say about grains and the gut-brain axis. We'll probably get to that on our next Bright Side episode.
Virtually anyone can hack your cell phone and track your calls, your texts, your emails, your every movement, but only if they can detect a signal. Stay one step ahead of hackers and Big Brother with a Block-It Pocket, a custom-made pocket infused with pure silver that creates a complete Faraday enclosure for your cell phone. For free shipping to the lower 48, visit blockitpocket.com or call 888-315-9618. blockitpocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Managing your business and customers isn't easy, huh? SnapForce customer relationship software may be just what you need. SnapForce CRM is a software solution that helps you manage everything important about your customers, from sales to marketing to service and support. All of your customer information is right there at your fingertips for easy access. It's time to take control of your business in a snap. Get your free trial at snapforce.com. That's SNAPFORCE.com. Snapforce.com. The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercials, special, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise at gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Alex Jones here. For the last 2 years, I've been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to design a nutraceutical formulation that has truly life-changing health benefits. So many other formulations out there contain toxic ingredients, synthetic additives, and even GMOs. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend, crafted with over 14 key ancient herbs and extracts to supercharge and prepare your body for what experts admit is the most dangerous season of the year. We have rejected hundreds of other formulations in our quest to bring you what is simply the most powerful and comprehensive proprietary formula that we have ever created in the realm of herbal immunity. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. Now is the time to secure Ancient Defense for you and your family. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
The CDC just announced flu vaccines may have the wrong strain of flu virus. You may not be protected. Whatever your lifestyle, your immune system is critical, and Immudyne provides your immune support. Doctor recommended, stimulant-free, and not found in pharmacies. Go to Immudyne.com to find out more or to place an order, or call 866-257-8668. That's IMMUDYNE.com or 866-257-8668. Remember, Immudyne is key support for your immune system.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
UnseenNow.com, proud sponsor of GCN. Unseen Now's unparalleled encryption tools keep your communications secure. GCN.
All right, we're back on the bright side. Jared Diamond is the author I was talking about. He wrote a paper called The Worst Mistake in the History of the Human Race. And that sounds kind of hyperbolic, but his point is kind of well taken. The worst mistake in the history of the human race, according to Jared Diamond, was farming and agriculture and growing seeds. And I'm not against farming, obviously, and crops. Most crops have some nutritional value associated with them. But the point is that hunter-gatherers, there's some benefits to being a hunter-gatherer, to going to the food instead of the food coming to us. And Jared Diamond makes some really interesting points in his paper, The Worst Mistake in the History of the Human Race. And by the way, you can just Google this, and there's lots of copies online. The Worst Mistake in the History of the Human Race, Jared Diamond. If you're interested in reading any of his books, he's got some wonderful, really interesting evolutionary biology and evolutionary archaeology kinds of books that talk about, that kind of take you through how human civilization evolved and developed throughout history. Anyway, that's Jared Diamond, The Worst Mistake in the History of the Human Race. I'm not going to, there's so much to say about grains, but I really want to get into the gut-brain axis, and I think we'll put this whole subject to bed about grains, aside from pointing out that if you feel like you can't get off grains, understand that you're probably addicted to, number one, the sugar, or number two, the X-orphins, the non-nutritional compounds, the non-nutritional brain-active, psychoactive compounds.